Okay, what's going on, man? All right, got a few people in here. What's going on, Sink and Tehran? Okay, just fixing some stuff here. All right, so we back. Few things to talk about tonight, man. First off, I just want to give my overall view of 279, UFC 279. Just give my overall view for that real quick, and then we're gonna get into these ladies, the ladies matches, because really that was the highlight for me. I mean, there was some okay fights on this card, but there was just, I don't know, man, just so much drama, just unorganized unorganization in this one. I mean, there was just crazy with the weigh-ins this time, crazy with, just how everything was put in order, it seems like. So, I just want to go over that a little bit, man, because it wasn't really it turned out to not to really be like a pay-per-view worthy card. Like, to me, there have been maybe two or three. Well, no, there's a few. There's like two or three UFC fight night cards that I definitely say were better than this. Like that Thiago Santos Jamal Hill card, that was better than this card to me. Like, the way it turned out, I would have paid for that before I paid for this one. you know, I mean, they had a good fighters on here, but the main card, main event, it wasn't really anything to go crazy about to me. Mark, what's going on? Zaman, Mojo, salute, man. Yeah, of course I watched it because I wanted to go through all the fights. I did some of the round by rounds on the prelims. I did the main card because I just wanted to go through it and cover it. But my overall take, it was okay. I think Aldana Chase on, that was probably, to me, it was probably the best fight on the card. The Johnny Walker, it was a good finish. I mean, yeah, that was a good fight. Those two probably turned out to be the best, but the Lee Daniel Rodriguez fight kind of disappointed me because to me that was a robbery. I thought, to me, Lee did enough to win the fight. I couldn't really give Daniel any rounds, but somehow he pulls out the split decision. Johnny Walker, good on him, man, working on his grappling, got a submission win. He needed it. His first victory in like, what, 2 years? He was like 1-4. He needed this win. And I didn't think he would get it in this fashion. Kutaleba, Ian Kutalaba, he's had this coming though, man. Always acting up at them weigh-ins and stare downs. So he got submitted, and I was happy. I was glad to see Johnny Walker rebound and get into his groove and make some adjustments to his style. So yeah, that fight was okay. I picked Johnny Walker in that. I picked Irene Aldana. This fight was turning out to be competitive. I'm gonna come back to it, but Irene Aldana was having her having success the first round. Second round, Macy started to come on a little bit stronger, right? Started to really put that groundwork in and show her levels on the ground. Good ground control overall, right? But a freak out of nowhere heel connects to Macy Chiason's liver, and she's done. First, I thought it was a low blow. Everybody had the same reaction. She didn't get it. She probably could have rode it home and got that third round had she not got kicked. I think it was going in favor of Macy, so I will admit that. Like I said, the Lee Daniel fight, I thought Lee was landing more volume. He was on the back foot most of the fight, picking shots, but they favored Daniel's work. I thought Daniel's jab was crisper, but I didn't think it was much to win the fight. To me, I just thought Lee was doing more. the numbers may reflect it not too much of a difference, but I thought Lee, his overall attack was mixed. He had a good mix, good variety. Hamzat, Kevin Holland. I was going for Holland, but we all expected Hamzat to do that, right? Especially these little cheap moves, like see the hand touch, he gets to go dip under and just go straight for the takedown. I mean, Hamzat didn't really prove anything with that win. I mean, that's his wrestling versus Holland's developing, but green takedown defense, right? So to me, Hamzat still didn't really show anything. You know what I mean? Like, whether it had been the Nate fight or the Holland fight, I favor the Holland fight more so for him because it came down to somebody that's younger, hasn't taken as much damage, fresher, but still, Hamzat need to be a middleweight, and he knows it. That's where his competition will start to get steeper for him. So he needs to get into that realm of the middleweights. Then we'll start seeing his real potential. No more of these welterweight fights and catchweight fights. The Nate Diaz Tony Ferguson fight. Y'all heard me calling it. I was kind of laughing, man, because really it's just two old guys in there putting on a show, kind of going through the motions. Nobody's really scared and nobody's really like tense. They just kind of having like an exhibition or a friendly sparring match or a heated sparring match. A heated sparring match between two older men, So I didn't really give Tony Ferguson a big chance in this one. I knew the striking of Diaz was going to be a problem. His volume. And as soon as he checked that leg kick, I said, uh-oh. Tony started bleeding from around the eyelids. Guy doesn't take damage, doesn't take punches very well. He cuts easily. And just fighting through the blood, I think he was just having trouble, really focusing there, especially even with the leg. But Tony never stopped trying. Never stopped trying. Tried to go in for that takedown on Diaz. Got put right into a guillotine, and boom, got submitted in the fourth, right? So yeah, overall, like I said, a bunch of catch weight fights. The catch weights outnumbered the actual fights that were on weight. Macy's not really a bantamweight in my opinion. I think that's one of the reasons why she has trouble competing at a high level. I'm just being real, They just need to do something about these ladies killing themselves and make featherweight. I'm gonna keep preaching that over and over, right? Let's see what else we got with her. Yeah, that's pretty much it. In my overall review of the card, nothing big. The prelims are okay. Prelims was decent. Chris Barnett got his finish, dramatic finish. After a rough first round, them big boys, Collier and Barnett just had me tripping, man. The way they be jiggling all over the place, but they be quick with it. They're these big heavyweights, but they be throwing fast hands and just wobbling all over the ring. So it's crazy, man. All over the cage. Barnett about got finished, but he held on and got the TKO in the second round, right? So yeah, like I said, 279 definitely kind of a letdown when it came down to it. Definitely wasn't up to par with some of the UFC Fight Night cards. Hopefully, this Fight Night card this weekend is good. Hopefully this Sandhagen Song card is on point, right? Well, they got quite a bit of fighters on this one that I'm looking out for. So yeah. Well, let me see what y'all talking about in the comment section. Stink said Barnett's jaw was messed up. Yeah, his eye and his jaw, right? Mojo, what's going on? He said that was a weird heel kick. It just hit the right spot. Other than that, not sure. I saw enough out of Aldana to think she's ready for Amanda. Yeah, I was saying that yesterday. I no, that kick saved her, right? That kick pretty much saved her, but the overall fight was competitive. It could have went towards Macy if Macy had lasted that third round. If she went back to the ground, it would have been her fight, right? Because it was 1-1. But going into that third, it started to go into Macy's favor with those with the groundwork. When she got up, I know y'all heard me in the chat during the round by round. I said somebody might get hit with the up kick. You know, when when fighters are this long, they can get hit with up kicks easy. So I said, hey, somebody gonna get hit with the up kick. I just didn't know it was gonna be to the body. I just didn't know it was gonna be to the body. I said, you know what? If Macy or Irene leans in, they could get an up kick. I was looking at that Leah McCourt, Janae Harding fight. That's what Janae Harding got hit with. One of them long legs, just kicked up in there, shoots up in there, and boom. So this was kind of similar. I mean, long limbs gonna be swinging and like that. And if it's a striker like Irene, she's gonna be wheeling them. If it don't hit you to the chin, you see, boom, heel catches that midsection of Macy, and she goes down, right? So yeah, like I said, that was probably the most entertaining one to me. That and Johnny Walker. But let's see what else we're gonna talk about here. Let's go and talk about this Melissa Martin and Elise Reed fight here real quick. Elise Reed got the victory. I can't argue with it. She definitely won the fight. But still, I still seen some things that was giving her trouble. Melissa Martin's her own striking, her own clinch game was kind of, I won't say it was full on frustrating Elise Reed, because Elise Reed was able to adjust and use her size, but Melissa Martin was giving her some fits in there, But Melissa Martin has a lot going against her in this strawweight division. I mean, look at the size. The size, that's number one. Look how small she is here. She's coming in at 113, and you can see visibly on fight night probably came in at 118, 119. She's literally, very, very, very thin, slender, thin. And I think, moving forward, this was just like evidence that when she goes in there again with a better striker, a better grappler, somebody with more strength, she's going to get handled, right? Because Elise Reed finally figured that out, in the cage. She was able to fight for that underhook and get her pressed to the cage. So, you can see Melissa Martin might have to put on some more weight, put on a little bit more strength, work on that. Because from here, it's going to get a little bit more difficult. Because Elise Reed doesn't offer much in the clinch or on the ground. So it did turn out to be more of a striking match. I thought it was a good striking match, though. I thought both fighters could have stood to be a little bit more on balance. I saw Elise Reed reaching a lot sometimes, kind of chasing Melissa Martin, kind of running after her off balance to land shots, like she was really trying to catch up. So I wanted to see them use their footwork a little more, a little bit more inching forward, using angles. Melissa Martin used more angles here. She just didn't really know her range well. She had the longer reach, but she was missing her left hand a lot, right? So I just think she needs little bit more patience. Same with Elise Reed. Take her time and uh, stay in her stance, pick the shots, because she's a Taekwondo black belt. She can't get too anxious in there and try to go after you know, the girl just because she's smaller. So you see, she did get caught a couple times. They did catch each other a couple times, but I think Melissa Martin caught her with the bigger shots. Melissa Martin had the bit more accuracy on hers, but Elise Reed, her being bigger, she was able to get the respect of Melissa. So these fights here, like I said, you never know how they're going to go, man. These strawweight fights on this level, you never know. It's always up in the air. But Reed shows she still has a bit of a level going in here. She used her experience. But I still think she needs to work on her ground game big time. Just being real. Melissa Martinez need a little bit more strength to her game. Gonna have to, I won't say put on too much weight, but just a little bit more muscle. Like Carla Esparza had to do. Carla's put on more muscle, and it's helped her. And it's helped her just win decisions. So, somebody like Melissa Martin, who at least has hands, if she puts on a little bit more muscle, works on her physical strength, that can carry her a little bit further in this division. But as of now, she starts dealing with those grapplers, even like a Vanessa Demopoulos, Tabitha Ricci, even Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes, much better wrestler than Elise Reed, gonna give her problems, So that's what it is, man. Yeah, Mojo. They need a atomweight division, and she could be an atomweight. But until they get one, she gonna have to make sure she got the muscle. She can bulk up, right? I mean, yeah, we can say they can be an atomweight, but until they get the division, gotta do like Carla did. Put that muscle on, get stronger, and make those adjustments to your height, your frame, and work to get respect on your shots. Yeah, because I'm looking at her frame, like she's no bigger than some of the atom weights, like Lindsey Van Zant, what's her name, Jessica Del Boni. Maybe a little bit bigger than Jessica Del Boni, just by a little bit, but not too much. Because you see, she made 113. It was like, I'm sure just by looking at her, she probably had to just maybe shed a couple pounds, because even on fight night, she didn't come in that big, So, yeah, they could do for an atomweight division, though. They could definitely do that, man. But yeah, those are the things I think Martinez need to work on. Elise Reed, a little bit more patient, staying in her stance, though, not as much chasing. Takedown defense, work on her ground game, just so she can switch it up sometimes and take fighters down and control that way. She's similar backstory like Rose, Taekwondo, boxing, kickboxing. So, if she makes those adjustments like that, she could be effective, and that can always be her wild card that she pulls out, right? So, yeah, Teresa Watterson, atom weight, I don't think she can be atom weight at this point, because, she's getting older, and she's definitely put on more weight, now that she's at this age. And she made flyweight comfortably in that one fight with Marina Rodriguez. So, yeah. But Elise Reed, more unranked fights. Any of these girls out there, Montserrat, Ruiz. Who else we got out there for? Demopoulos got a fight coming up. So, not her right now. I mean, there's always some names out there. they've been signing quite a few unranked girls. If she gets, let's see, Bellismus, Bellismus pulled out of this fight, so why not? She pulled out of the fight with Ricci. Maybe her and Elise Reed can fight in December. Should be no problem for Elise Reed to come right back. Right, she can come right back at in December. She didn't take too much damage in this fight. Go ahead and rack them fights up. All right, let's see what else. Let's see what y'all talking about. Okay, Darby said, "How's it going? What's going on?" He said, "Why did Aldana take this fight at 140? It's obvious that Macy's size was a huge advantage. Why take such a risk?" Well, word is Macy couldn't make the weight, and she asked Irene if she would take it, and Irene accepted it. So it's on Irene. But Irene hadn't fought in 14 months, so she was probably like, forget it, I'm gonna fight. They probably worked it out behind the scenes, gave Irene more money. So when it came down to it, Irene said, I need to fight. I need to get active. It's been over a year. She was confident in her skills. It was a risk, but she got it. So yeah, it was really Macy. Like Irene maybe was going to make weight, but Macy reached out to her because she couldn't make it. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about this fight too. Let's go ahead and talk about Irene and Macy a little bit since we already here. I'll save the other fight. I'll save the normal fight because that's part of my big topic. So Macy Chiasson, Irene Aldana was turning into a very, first of all, the first round to me was kind of turning into a striking clinic. It was looking like Irene was gonna land some big shots and possibly get Macy out of there, right? Because Macy, though she has power, doesn't have that striking IQ of Irene. Irene was putting some beautiful straight right hands down the pipe on Macy, and I knew they were effective and they were damaging because she was getting the respect of Irene Aldana. Macy was respecting the power. First round, Macy spent her time on the back foot a lot. She's the bigger fighter here, but a few of those shots were kind of dizzying to her, I think. She was really starting to feel that power. But coming out in that second round, she changed it up. She changed it up and went in for more takedowns and had more success. Not just with her wrestling, but some good grappling transitions here. Irene did good surviving the rear naked choke, but really Macy was one step ahead on the ground. Macy Chiasson was one step ahead with the turns. Like every time Irene tried to turn into a guard to get top position, what would Macy do? Macy would grab the upper body, or she would lock up Irene's arm, so Irene couldn't turn. It keep Irene in that position, that neutral position, kind of skewed up, so she couldn't go anywhere. Like she couldn't give up her full back, or she couldn't turn into the guard of Macy. So that was a tough position for Irene. Irene's dealing with that. She's got this big fighter on her back, trying to just flatten her out. She's tagging her. Macy's landing some good ground and pound that second round. So I almost thought there was a point where the ref was looking to step in whenever Macy was landing a few unanswered shots. Thankfully Irene kept moving and stayed in it. But Macy knew this game plan was working. So going into that third round, she was taking more chances letting her hands go, and she landed some good left hands. I know y'all saw some of them big left hands land on Irene. Irene got a good chin, though. I give her that. Got a good chin. Knows how to roll with those shots. Once again, it was going to the ground. And here I was like, okay, I thought Macy was going to take over. Again, I thought I was going to take over. But as soon as they got separated, boom, up. Macy looking to get back in there. Irene's wheeling them legs. Boom. That heel catches that liver. And wow, she just turns around. Almost reminded me of the reaction. The reaction was a shocker. It reminded me of Chikagan and Andrade. You know, those body shots are something, man. You know, them body shots are crazy. Body shots, man. Like, whether you get kicked or punched, they make you react in a crazy way, man. Because what's the other one? Gatto and Sarge, you know, just getting hit to the liver, it just shuts everything down, man. So it's like, you know, the reaction to it is nothing you can do. You know, there's nothing you can do. That's it, right? Usually when somebody gets hit to the chin, they do a dance, they get wobbled. Sometimes they can fight through it. They can clear their head and get back up. But when it's a body shot, no, man, it's over. You know, it's over when you get to the body like that. So I understand. You know, Macy was fighting a good fight, made the right adjustments, but boom, it's just one of them freak things, man. I really wouldn't call it a fluke, though. You know, some people call it a fluke. No, man, it's not a fluke because what Irene was throwing was gonna give you some type of result, whether it connects to lay you out or it connects to just score another point. You know what I mean? Like, that's why they always say let your hands go. They don't say just keep throwing, your score a fluke win. No, like, it wasn't even really like a Hail Mary shot. You know what I mean? Like, she was just in the midst of throwing some up kicks, almost like wheel kicks, you know, bicycling her legs, and boom, the heel kick caught her. You know? Could have been to the face, you know, it's just to the body this time. So I give her full credit for it. You know, she never stopped working. That's why they say keep fighting. You know, if you down, just keep on fighting. So I give her full credit. Macy was a tough fight for her. She fought it at a catch weight. So from here, Irene says she's ready for the title shot. Oh boy, that's the question, man. Like, well, it's not really a question for me because even like I said last night, after watching this fight, I already know the answer to how a fight with her and Amanda would go, you know. And again, that's no disrespect to Irene as a fighter, but we know what Amanda is capable of. Amanda is capable of doing what Macy did on the ground times 20, right? I mean, Irene always has the chance to pump out her jab on Amanda and even mix in her left hook. Her boxing is probably the one thing that could save her or pull out a crazy upset on Amanda. But Amanda knows how to shut down strikers. You know, she knows how to shut down strikers. You know, she's done it to the best, like GDR, Valentina. You know what I mean? So Amanda knows how to get in there and avoid those big shots. GDR, you know, she was probably the best striker, I think. Like best, just pure striker. GDR probably the best pure striker that Amanda faced, you know, that was just solely based on, you know, hands, kicks. And you saw how Amanda shut it down for 5 rounds. So you see what Macy's doing here. Macy does this to Irene. Amanda would do the same thing until she can stop her. And the thing is, Amanda's jiu-jitsu is so much more better and smooth that her getting her back, her controlling upper body the same way should be no issue for her to get a submission. But I think at this point, Irene's got it. She's got this. Let me look at the rankings. Is it enough to get a? Is it enough? I mean, she got a victory over Macy. Calaveria got a victory over Holly Holm. Really, it's just like a roll of the dice. Who do you want to see next? Like, who brings a different look at this point? Well, Ketlin will argue she can get it because she's number 2. Irene's number 4. It's all going to come down to who's going to want it. Like, who's going to answer that call, or who's going to call for it. Who can scream the loudest for it? That's what it is. Like, who's going to scream the loudest for it? At this point, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be them just saying, okay, who's going to really get on the mic and call for it? Just like Juliana Pena did, Number 7, she called for it. She got it. Talked enough trash. She got it. This one, an aging Holly Holm, a win over Holly doesn't really make the Vieira fight interesting, but it's a different look. Irene Aldana did beat a big, strong Macy. Depending on, I don't know how strong she was because of the weight cut, but it was a different look. Irene's a different look for Amanda. I mean, so I think style-wise, I'd rather Irene, because I think if it's just Nunes and Ketlin, I think it's gonna be a lot of clinching there, and a lot of clinching and holding. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be a lot of clinching and grappling. I'm sure Nunes Aldana could be that way, but there's always that striking factor with Irene. That's what makes that interesting. Let's see what y'all talking about real quick. Darby said, why is Macy fighting at bantamweight when her best title shot is at featherweight? She just beat Dumont. Who else is in the featherweight division for her to fight except Nunes? Yeah, nobody, right? Well, her logic is, some fighters should move back and forth between bantamweight and featherweight. I mean, I never heard her make the argument that Dana needs to sign more featherweights. That's what she should say to me. Instead of trying to convince yourself that you need to be a 135 because that's where the fights are. Like, forget the fights. Like, what about the direction? Like, which division can you really climb? I know you're gonna say, bantamweight because there's a roster, but what about the weight cut? What if you can't make the weight? Then you can't climb that division. So to me, in an interview, when they ask, you should say, I wish Dana would have more girls sign to 145 or let the big girls move up to 145 and stay there. That's like the most logical thing to say to me. Maybe they would try to keep, because it just don't seem like her weight cuts are helping. I mean, they're healthy, because Macy said to get the bantamweight, she got to run 40 miles a week. When she fights featherweight, she don't have to do that. But when she's running 40 miles a week, that's draining. 40 miles a week plus whatever else she does to cut weight. That's some rough stuff right there. Mark Robinson said Aldana's win was a fluke. It's like saying Paige Van Zant's win over Beck Rollins was a fluke. Oh, no, that was not a fluke. That was beautifully set up, too. I mean, I can't really compare those two. I don't consider Aldana's not a fluke, but I know what you're getting at. But, Paige has a lot of evidence in that fight, because she did that crane kick multiple times up in that fight. She did it multiple times, but Beck Rollins just never caught on to it. And then that second time, it was just the money shot, the one that landed and she was out of there. Um, let's see, Jen, what's up? He said, I don't think Caitlin beat Holly at all, but that's the fight they're gonna make and make it in Brazil in January. Yeah, that was what Caitlin was saying. She said she want that fight in Brazil. Can someone kick Dana so he starts to do something? What, with a heel kick to his stomach? Oh, BJ, what's up? He said Macy won't make 135 anymore. No, she won't, man. Like the thing about 145 is she took that one on short notice too, right? Did she take down short notice? Was the Rocky Pennington fight on short notice? Because she missed that weight by what? She came in 148. Missed that weight too. And to me, I was like, yo, like, what's going on here now? You didn't make 145 either. Macy might need to go to Bellator or PFL, get that 155, getting that 155 division. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I know the UFC is the company everybody wants to work for, but if they're not really catering to your body type and your weight, why try to kill yourself, right? Why try to kill yourself? Oh, Colton, what's going on? He said Ketlin versus Pena would be a good fight. That's not a bad fight. I like that. Ketlin versus Pena, that's a good fight. Pena would have her hands full because Ketlin's a big girl, boy. I think Pena has the better straight strikes, but I see that fight on the ground all day long. Pena's tougher, though. Everybody know Pena's tougher than Ketlin, though. Ketlin don't have that dog like Pena. She got the power. I don't know if she got that dog like Pena. Pena's kind of crazy. So, Teresa, that's not fair for fighters. The fighters need to stay healthy. It's true. It's true. That's why I said, to me, it's not worth it. We all been in situations where you'd be like, oh, should I work this job? Should I work this job? Money might be okay, but is it good for my health? And if it's not good for your health, you turn it down, right? See, everybody just gets caught up in the UFC, thinking that's the only way to go, thinking that's the only way to make money, and just want to go with it because they think it's the best move for them. But if you can't get your body to the standard that they need to be at, and you can continue to miss weight, is it really worth it? That's all I'm asking. Because you ain't got to be a genius, and you ain't got to be actually cut weight and be a fighter to know that. Because like I said, I can take a similar situation where if something is unhealthy for you, and you might not need to do it, even if it does seem like everybody else is doing. Mojo said Amanda fights Ketlin, then Aldana, or vice versa, then probably retires. Maybe a trilogy with Pena or Valentina. Before she retires, she got to get at least a trilogy with one of them. Runnerini, what's up? She said they just need to cancel that division if they're not going to bring in the girls for that division. It's just stupid. Yeah. It don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. Riley, what's going on? He said the thing is a lot of the girls at 135 aren't as well rounded as Amanda or have the IQ like she has. She will always have a one-up on them and use their weakness to beat them. Shoot, Amanda be using their strengths against him too. Amanda be using the weakness and the strength against him. Amanda took the head kick on Holly Holm and used it on her. What else? Oh yeah, when she got that rear naked choke on Miesha Tate. She got that rear naked choke on Miesha Tate, just like Miesha did to Holly Holm. But yeah, Amanda's IQ is very high. It usually takes grit and dog to wear on her, and that's what Pena did. But you see, even in the rematch, she had no success. Therese said, "I think a fight with Valentina will happen before Amanda retires, or she maybe come back for that." Yeah, a trilogy with either one. Tehran said, "Why is the UFC still using the Apex?" I don't know. Yeah, people still, this is go-to. They still use the Apex, man. Why you ask that? It's the go-to. Oh, let me stretch for a second. Okay, so yeah, Irene may have put herself in a title shot position. If it happens, it happens. Um, I think her or Ketlin is okay because it's just a different look at this point. Maybe we get one of these fights out of the way, then maybe we will see a rubber match with Nunes, or a rubber match with Nunes Pena or Nunes Shevchenko. You know what I would do if I was Juliana Pena? I would call out Irene Aldana right now, because if Amanda doesn't give her a rubber match right now, and Amanda's looking to fight Irene, shoot, Pena need to go ahead and quarter Irene Aldana, try to bag that win, and corner the market. Go ahead and corner that market. Say, oop, Irene's out. You got to face me, right? Or if she tries to go after Kelly Vieira, say, oop, nope, I'm going to beat her too. And if she beats her, two-fight winning streak, Nunes, come and get me. Let's do it again for a third time. Hey, Robert Whitaker, he did it, right? 4 in a row, right? Three in a row to get Izzy. So, hey, it can happen. It would be legit for Pena to do that, though, I think, man, just to get her a rubber match and guarantee it. If you're confident in your style, I know the possibility is how she could lose, but I know her and Robert Whitaker are two different fighters. He's a little bit more technical. Not a little bit, but you know what I mean. Teresa Aldana versus Pena. Yeah. Okay, Colton said Irene said she trained for that liver kick. Isn't that a weird technique to train? It's an unlikely situation to be an unusual. I don't know, Colton. I can't say it is. I don't know if it's a weird technique. Maybe when you find yourself in that position more than once, like say if you are a striker and you're on your back and you want to get back up, you would train for like up kicks or kicks to the body, even if they don't knock a person out. You want to train to separate, because Irene, say she's not official. She's not official in water when it comes to her ground game, right? So let's say she's on her back. You probably would train to throw those heel kicks like that to the body, or like I said, up kicks constantly. Because if you're a striker, that's part of your ability to get back to your feet, I'm just trying to make sense of it, because if she's training for it, I can see the logic in that. Oh yeah, we'll get to Wolf here in a minute. We'll talk Wolf here in a minute. Make sure y'all hit that like button, because yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about this boxing and MMA striking here. Mojo still didn't think about that. Pena eliminates Aldana. That would almost force the trilogy. Yeah, man. Same I think like Robert Whitaker did. Just keep on beating everybody till you give them no choice. At least beat one of them. Beat her or Vieta. TJ said, "I'm here. Everyone can relax now." So we're talking about Macy and Irene. let's talk about how much Macy's going to be a UFC fighter. Well, you just missed the conversation. I mean, we can go back. Like, how you want to talk about it, TJ? Yeah, you just missed some of the things I'm saying. I'm saying she need to be PFL or Bellator because bantamweight's not healthy for her. Let's be real. Bantamweight is not healthy for her. I think even though she missed the featherweight limit once too, if she could just focus on that one weight class, she'd be fine at some point. Hold on. Riley said, I actually think they need to keep the featherweight division. If they take it away, the girls there can't make 135 constantly. Eventually, after multiple misses, they will be cut. See, I agree with you, Riley, man, because even though I can't stand how Dana White treats the featherweight division or phantomweight division, whatever you want to call it, I still have some type of hope when all of these girls can't make 135 that he'll have to keep it. Because some of the girls can't make it right now. They got fights coming up, you know? So it's like eventually, even whenever he's not in charge anymore, if they get like a better matchmaker or, you know, somebody in charge of like the women, maybe they could work on that. Singh said, who has a better chance to beat Nunes, Vieira or Dumont? Vieira at 135 or Dumont? I think I'm going to say Vieira does. Because Norma Dumont, don't get it twisted. She looked good. She looked like a champion fighting Danielle Wolf. But even then, that first round, there was a lot of respect. There was a lot of respect from Dumont. But she won all 3 rounds, but don't get me wrong. But I think I'm going to go with Kelly Vieira. Oh, BJ said Dumont. Yeah. Let me see. Let's see. So CJ said problem is UFC target demographic doesn't like the big girls, making it odd. There's no atomweight division either. That's why I don't believe that. Like, that's why I just don't believe that, because they're not invested in an atomweight division either. Like, if you bring out a featherweight division and you have a division that's bringing knockouts, people will watch it. You know, people are going to watch it. They just need to do it. Yeah, you know, that is a big part of it too, BJ. Yeah, Dumont is a killer. I won't say a killer, but she's got more of a kill switch than Vieira. So at 145, yeah, it might be more in Dumont's favor, because yeah, Vieira upset me in that Miesha Tate fight. Like, she could have, as bad as she was beating Miesha Tate, she did not close the show. I found that disappointing. So at least Dumont goes after it. So yeah, if you're talking about 130, 145, yeah, man, Dumont's chin will be better. Dumont's durable. Her punch resistance will be better. She's got weight. Yeah, I think I would go with Dumont. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dumont too over Ketlin Vieira. It's an atomweight would have like 40 fighters. Yeah, they would. Yeah, they'd have like 40 something fighters. I think I did a show like 2 years ago. I named just a good 16, maybe 20. You know, just to give the UFC an idea if they act like they watch YouTube. I put them names out there. Said, look, You got Del Boni, Zapatella, Van Zant. You got a lot of girls out here to make atom weight. Jillian DeCourcy. So many girls that can make atom weight, that are atom weight right now. Carla, Loma Labutni, possibly Brianna Van Buren if she's coming back. So yeah, you just keep going. It just keeps going. Mojo said Dana has his pets for sure. Amanda, Connor, and now Hamzat. He will let them dictate fights and weights. That's true. As long as they, making the money, he'll let them dictate it, man. Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about since we're talking about Dumont, let's talk about this fight. Norma Dumont and Danielle Wolf. Did anybody really think Danielle Wolf had a chance? Yes or no? Who thought Danielle Wolf had a chance? That's the question. Yes or no? Did anybody think she had a chance? Yes or no? That's what I mean. Did anybody really think she had a chance? What's crazy is that I'm gonna say this. Dana actually believes she had a chance, but I have more of a I believe that the fighter he didn't sign, Teresa Bleda, had more of a chance to beat at least 3 or 4 unranked fighters in a row at flyweight. And that's not even, that's saying a great deal, but it's still being realistic. I'm putting her against good odds, but she still had a chance. So Teresa Bleda had more of a chance of going on a 4-0 win streak on an unranked level than Danielle Wolf had any chance of beating Macy, Norma Dumont. Hell, even Dos Santos probably would have beat her. Even Dos Santos probably would have beat her at this point. So what was his logic in signing this fighter on the Contender Series? What was really his logic in signing this type of fighter on the Contender Series? I don't get it. Like, what can you make off of this fighter when she hadn't fought in 2 years? Yep. Therese said nope. Runnerini, nope. Chen said nope. Sink said that one dude picked Wolf. That one dude picked Wolf in the call with you. Oh, with you and BJ. Oh, 2Bs. I made him change his pick, though, I think. Did I make him change his pick, or did 2B stick to it? Because he was going for a knockout, but I said, okay, I'm picking Norma Dumont by decision. And that's what happened. Okay, Darby said if they make an atomweight division, Carla will be champion and dominate for years. She could. I think her toughest comp would be probably Del Boni, and I think she could beat her. They just said nope, but it was idiots out here on Twitter saying she was going to box up Dumont. Oh, I can't even believe people thought that, man. I don't get why Danielle's in the UFC. She had one MMA fight and mediocre boxing record. Yeah, she had Norma Dumont looking like she held a belt right now. Like, she had Norma Dumont looking like Amanda Nunes, but that's what was going to happen, right? That's what was going to happen in this fight. Norma Dumont was going to show Wolf there is levels to this game, right? She was going to show her that there's levels to this game, man. Like, You can't come in at this age with no background MMA fights. No professional fights on the regional level. You can't come in here with no Cage Fury fights and no LFA fights or no Invicta fights or what's the other any of them organizations. Okay, at least Eileen Perez had some experience before she came in here and lost to Stephanie Edgar. But Daniel Wolf came in here with no experience against a solid fighter like Norma Dumont, and they were going to sell that to us. That's another thing. Like, don't y'all feel insulted as MMA fans that Dana White was going to sell this to us? Or he sold it to the simps, and he sold it to the casual fans, like BJ said, the ones that said Wolf was going to outbox Norma Dumont. Like, how embarrassing is that, and how insulting is that to the hardcore MMA fans that want to see good fights and want to see good fighters sign? Again, like Mojo bringing up, like I just said, Teresa Bleda. He said that Teresa Bleda decision on Dana's part will come back to bite him. Yeah, it already has, because he signed this fighter here, and this is what she gives us. This is what she gives us. First fight in, not just first fight in the UFC, but first fight, period. I won't even really count the Tanisha Tennant fight. She lost that one. But you bring that type of energy, and you want us to accept that and think the girl has a chance. I don't even get that. Well, no, Norma shouldn't be insulted. That's all she had to offer. It was on her. It's money for her. So for Norma, no, BJ, I don't think she should be insulted. She getting paid. Is an easy night of work for her. You know what I mean? It's easy night. I don't even think now that's insulting, BJ, to have Chelsea or Lisa Letson fight Daniel Wolf. No, man, like Leah Lesson's levels above her too. I'm saying Daniel Wolf shouldn't be in here, period. She shouldn't be fighting at Chelsea, because Chelsea would destroy her. Leah Lesson would destroy her. My point is that it's insulting to us that it's being sold to us to watch like this, because it's not on the right level. It's not the level she's on. But for Norma, she'll take it. She'll take it because it's a quick, easy paycheck. It's a schooling she's going to put on, and that's what she did. There's really nobody for her to fight. No. It was just a bad choice for him to. Josiane Nunes would have been worse. Josiane Nunes, that fight would have been worse. Josiane Nunes would have got Daniel Wolf out of there. She would have been out of there. Josiane is not playing. That fight is not. That fight, you thought this fight wasn't pretty? That fight is not going to be pretty. Okay? But yeah, Daniel Wolf really had no chance against any of them. I mean, don't have a chance against Chelsea. She would have got taken to the ground and handled the same way. Chelsea and Norma Dumont probably would have been a better fight, but Chelsea and Orly Letson would have had Norma in the same position. And everything Norma did is what I expected. I expected her to go in there and show her that it's not boxing. I'm a hardcore boxing fan. Boxing before MMA, but I know you just can't come in there off of a decorated boxing record and think somewhat of a decorated. I can't really say can't really say it's decorated. It was she won some national golden gloves. She won some national golden gloves, but she wasn't like, Clarissa Shields, two-time gold medalist, or undisputed champion in two weight classes, nothing like that, right? That's why I was like, I can't really see them selling this off of anything right now. Daniel Wolf, she's not bringing in like even the karate accolades that Manon Firo is bringing in. Karate champions, different levels of wrestling. At least Norma Dumont has a background, amateur record, signed the black belt, different things that you can incorporate in mixed martial arts, right? All of this stuff necessary. And that's what leads me into this topic, man. Like, you see what Norma Dumont works on and how she transitions it to an MMA fighter. But somebody coming in as a pure boxer, you can see the different level of an MMA striker and a boxer, right? This was the perfect example of that. Like, you just took a boxer right out the ring and put him into the cage. That's what it's going to look like. I mean, if you look at Norma Dumont's stance, pure boxer. The way she was standing, she was wide open for leg kicks. Wide open for those leg kicks. Getting her lead leg chewed up. She's throwing a good boxer's jab, but even the way she turns the jab over, it's like a boxer. She's doubling up, stepping in, and Norma can time that. Yeah, Wolf stance. Yeah, look at Wolf stance. It's a boxer stance. It's just a pure boxer stance. They didn't really seem like they worked on training her to be more of a MMA striker. She was not lighter on her feet. Putting more weight on the back foot. Stationary. And that's what I've said before, even like with Clarissa going into MMA, you can't be flat-footed, because you flat-footed, that lead leg is going to get torn up. Look at Juliana Pena. She's an MMA fighter, but look at her lead leg getting tore up. Look at how much pressure she puts on that front foot. So she doesn't really have the footwork to get away from Amanda, right? Daniel Wolf here, she was just pure boxer. That's all I can say. It was like pure boxer. I'm saying pure boxer. You can't come in there with that mentality that you're going to outbox somebody with just your hands. Everything has to be working. Everything has to be alert. Like, if you're not, your lead leg is chewed up. You're throwing that jab and 1-2 like a boxer where you fully turning them over. That's not going to work, because you see how Norma Dumont would just time her and come over the top with the right hand. Like, when she would throw the jab out, she sees every corkscrew turn of that jab. Like, when you corkscrew that jab like a boxer, that works in boxing, yeah, because that's all you got to worry about is hands. The corkscrew jab is fine. In MMA, you got to be quick with it. You got to, dart it out there, flick it out there, shoot it from the hip, pop it out there like you see Joanna does, like a straight line, and be back. But you just can't corkscrew that thing like it's like you in an actual boxing match, because it gets time. You see, Norma's coming over the top, banging her with them right hands. Yeah, BJ, she dropped that club fist on her and rocked her in the first round, dropped her 2 times in the second round, just by timing those boxing punches. She was just in there with a pure boxer that night. And, going back to the stance, her stance, Norma Dumont was never in any danger of any type of kicks coming back. She was never worried about kicks coming back. And when Wolf did throw kicks, you could see him coming a mile away. I mean, was I the only one? You saw them kicks coming, right? Daniel Wolf threw a couple of them front kicks to the face, and you could just see it coming. Like, it looked kind of fast, but you could see the shift of her hips. And then Norma Dumont was doing the old pullback. Norma was just pulling straight back, like, you know what I mean? It was just so predictable. It was just so predictable, and almost, well, I won't say almost, it was embarrassing, because it makes you wonder who was in charge of transitioning her from boxing to MMA striker, right? Like Ernest said, MMA and boxing are two different things. They should be acknowledged as such. Yeah, like your MMA striker is different than your boxing. That's why I was posting these pictures here. If you look at Joanna as an MMA striker, one of the best examples to look at. That was her bread and butter. She came from Muay Thai, but did she keep the Muay Thai stance? No. She had to be lighter on her feet. She had to train to be unpredictable when she shifts her hips to throw those front kicks to the face. She had to be in and out. The way she throws her jabs, she's keeping them straight as possible, hidden. Combinations are quick. She's flicking those shots out and, getting a good combination off and to get out, because, you don't want to get taken down. So there's a level of speed and twitch alert that you need as an MMA fighter, more so than when you're a Muay Thai fighter or a boxer, right? So that's another thing that differs. Speed and timing is going to be different, because you want to be in and out. Your range is going to be different. I think it was Sink. I saw the word distance. Somebody mentioned it. Hold on. Sink said her range was so bad in that fight with Dumont. Every time she got caught, it was like a step away from Dumont with her hands down and bending down. Yeah. So yeah, range, man. Like, the range is different. That's why I say, like, what I learned myself, when you're looking at fighters using the jab, that's a good way to find your range. But, finding range with those little stomp kicks on the knee or calf kicks, that's a good way to find your range. Keep touching the leg. So when you want to throw that teep kick, or you want to throw that kick to the face, masking with punches is a good part of it, but you got to be in a stance to throw kicks. Daniel Wolf was never in a stance to throw any legit kicks. Right? Marcus Bell, what's going on? He says, salute with the 5 spot. He said, better late than never. Hey, it's all good, man. He throwing the 5 spot out there. TJ was looking for gear. TJ, I'm giving shirts out. I did a super chat on Monday. First 5 people get shirts, TJ, and you missed it. I mean, it's never too late, but first 5 people who super chatted, including, I included like 3 more. I think it was like 8 people, 9. But yeah, I'm giving a shirt away, TJ. I'm working on it, but I'm actually working on it right now. I got it pulled up on the screen. But yeah, I got a shirt. So you should be here Monday, TJ. Well, I'll give you one too, TJ. I don't want to do that. Yeah, if you want a shirt, TJ, I'm gonna have to send you the email. No, you send me an email. I mean, yeah. Sink said make Bea Malecki versus Daniel Wolf and Bea. I don't think Bea Malecki's coming back. I don't think she's coming back. I think she had some. I think she might have had some injuries. She's had some issues going on. Can't remember if it's like a brain scan that she had done, but I don't think she's coming back, man. Donovan Jackson, what's up? He said she was 37 when she got the contract, got injured, and she's 39. She finally makes her debut against a veteran. Yeah. I thought Dana White was just going to like cut that idea and let her go just so she can work. But No. Yeah, she has some brain issue. Yes, I don't think she is coming back. From what she said, she gave a long post one day on her social media. I don't think she's coming back. But yeah, going back to this thing here, man. MMA striker versus a boxer. You got Daniel Wolf out here coming in as a boxer. Like I said, hunched over, turning the punches over like a boxer. That's boxer speed, not MMA speed. So her timing's going to be different. It's going to be predictable. Again, her legs are always going to be in a comfortable position for Dumont where she can figure it out and just say, oh, okay, I know what she's doing. Like she ain't going to throw any kicks. So all I can do is just rip her lead leg, take her down every now and then. And what's crazy is Norma outboxed her the first round, right? Norma outboxed her and just wanted to show herself that an MMA striker is different than a boxer. So I give Norma a lot of credit there. She was like, I'm a boxer for a while. She boxed her on the outside. She took her best punches. She stayed on the outside and just boxed. Made Wolf miss long punches, made her miss kicks. Then when she got into the second and third, then she started taking the fight. Well, no, she boxed her more in the second round, dropping her 2 times. And then in the third round, she gave her the jiu-jitsu. She gave her the tour of the jiu-jitsu. Wild Tiger, what's going on? She gave her that jiu-jitsu tour in the third round because she's like, I wanted to strike with her the first couple rounds, I guess. Then she was like, I wanted to show her jiu-jitsu too. I wanted to show her how it is on the ground, and she did that. And man, Daniel Wolf looked lost. Daniel Wolf really looked lost on the ground. That just showed you the facial expression that she had, the panic mode that she had, showed you that there's levels to it, man. There's just levels to it. And Dana should know he made a big mistake, man. Yeah, that's right, TJ. He said don't get caught with that combo figure 89. He said get the authentic stuff over here. Yeah. That's what it is. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Still got 20 of y'all in here. We still going. Let me turn some air on. I'm getting hot. Marcus said UFC needs their butt whooped for signing Daniel Wolf. Yeah. Somebody needs that butt whooping. I don't know if it's a matchmaker or everybody in the office. Somebody needs that whooping. Sink said she had Norma looking like DC out there. I know, right? Yeah. That was a big slam too. Yeah, she just picked up off her feet and said, look, I see how big you are. And boom, I'm going to take you down. Yeah, this was what it was a fun fight to watch, but one of the worst matchups the UFC's ever made. Can we say that? Can we safely say that? Was this one of the worst matches ever made? Somebody with no fights taking on this level of a fighter and this level of organization. They're supposed to be the best fighters in the world. UFC sells themselves as the best fighters in the world. And then you put somebody that's 1-0 in here and you don't sign Teresa Bleda. Yeah, I'm going to say it again. Don't sign Teresa Bleda, but you sign Daniel Wolf. But yeah, man, that's what it is, man. Boxer, MMA. MMA striker, boxer, 2 different things, man. MMA striking, you got to be ready to move at all times. You can't be stationary in the pocket too much. Can't throw uppercuts the same way. You can't necessarily dip your head the same way as a boxer because you could get caught with a head kick. Your jab has to be quicker, I think, and more so to the point. Nothing too fancy. Even how you throw body shots, you have to be particular. You might get caught with a headshot. So stance, number one, stance just has to change for Daniel Wolf. She got to change that. Number one, lighter on her feet, not leaning forward so much. Got to do more drills throwing leg kicks. The kicks she threw, like I said, were just so predictable that when she faces somebody else in this division, of course they'll just take her down when they time a leg kick, they see the shift of her hip, they'll just catch that kick and boom, she's down again, like Norma was doing. So boxers, as a boxer, you guys got to go in there and humble yourself and change that whole game up. Clarissa was working on that. Clarissa got a taste of it in the Abigail Montez fight. When she comes back to MMA, she's going to have to make sure she can switch that gear from boxer to MMA striker, Two different worlds, man. Just totally two different worlds. Everything's coming at you. Knees, kicks. You got to be able to throw it out the same way. Knees, kicks. It's just like that. Todd Johnson, what's going on? Todd, I thought you just said something a little while back. I meant to read your comment. Oh, yeah. He said, Todd Johnson, what's up, man? He said, great show today. I agree with you always. Dumont looked great, but not even in the realm of Nunez. Yeah, nah, not at all, man. Not at all. Yeah, it's a dangerous. A boxer, they can look so monstrous in the boxing ring. You think Mike Tyson, a monster, in the boxing ring. But when you go into the cage, it's a different world. I think Mike Tyson had the ability to be an MMA fighter, like transition, but just pure Mike in the cage is nothing scary as a guy like John Jones or even DC, you know what I mean? or what's his name? Name just flew out of my mind. Anyways, any of these MMA guys, that not only stop people with punches, but head kicks and slams and submissions. These guys are scary. That's so much more scary sometimes, when you're in that cage, because anything can happen in there. Anything. That's why sometimes I'm like, these MMA fighters, they do deserve to get paid as much as boxers, because they do fight everybody. They face so many different styles. MMA fighters should get a bigger share, maybe even if they can't get the boxer money, but they need to get a bigger portion than what they have been getting. Yeah, Robot Chicken, what's going on? He said James Toney learned the hard way. Yeah, James Toney learned, man. Shannon wasn't not Shannon Briggs, but Ray Mercer, he learned too, man. It ain't no joke. But yeah, I'll probably do a separate video talking about this too again, like the whole difference between MMA striking. Because I talked to a fighter one day and we were talking about that, like MMA striking and boxing. Because Daniel Wolf, her whole game was just boxer. I just saw it, and I was like, oh no, she's not gonna win. I expected to see her moving more like Holly or being lighter on her feet, but no, man, she was double jabbing like a boxer, pushing her way in like a boxer. When she threw her kicks, they were like a boxer from a boxing stance. Nah, man. TJ said UFC fighters should get paid enough that when they stop fighting, they don't have to start GoFundMe's to pay rent or OnlyFans. Right, either one. While Tiger, what's up? She said, I'm in the works of doing an episode of Talking Chill with Tiger. All right. talking chill with Tiger, talking some MMA and anything combat sports. Oh yeah, we had BKFC too. Running rings. I like box, but I find myself MMA more these days. Ernst said, yeah, BKFC. Yeah, they do need more money so they don't have to start GoFundMe's and do the OnlyFans. Some of them want to do the OnlyFans, so that's on them. But some of them, I think, don't want to do it because it seems like they only do it when the money's running low. So yeah, they do need a little bit more. But what else, y'all? What else we gonna talk about? What do we got coming up this week? Let's see. TJ said it's sad. I remember Kat talking about being broke, and I was shocked. Wow. Well, she started one for a while, but I think she closed it. Maybe she changed her mind. They said she had started one, but she changed her mind. Which, yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. That's proof of what I was talking about. You know, some of them don't really want to do the OnlyFans thing. They just do it because of the money. But see, she changed her mind. Tehran said Tony Ferguson, his wife, better start OnlyFans so he can retire for MMA. Right. I mean, yeah, retire, take care of himself because who knows what shape he'll be in 2 years from now. You know, physically. Wild Tiger said, "I'm sorry, but Aldana won't fight for the belt right now. Knowing the UFC, they may have her go against another top contender in bantamweight or title elimination match. Yeah, it might be Caitlin Vieira. I would like to see Aldana Pena though. That would be good. Yeah, we got Lad McMahon this weekend. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, what else we got? We got like 4 fights this weekend. Tehran said, "You see how slow Ferguson was? Yeah, man, he was. I mean, he had Diaz looking like half prime Diaz in there with the hand speed. Ferguson looked like old man. You know, he's running across the ring, ducking punches, and just even the way he was shifting his hip, he looked like one of them, you know, old men that be schooling young guys, but he wasn't schooling Diaz though. You know, one of them little old men you see in like these YouTube videos that be boxing. That's what Tony Ferguson looked like. Okay, so we got. Let's see. This Saturday we got Maria Agapova versus Jillian Robertson, Denise Gomes versus Loma Labutni, Aspen Lab versus Sarah McMahon, and Marina Moreau versus Jennifer Maya. Those all should be some good fights. So that's what 2 flyweights, bantamweight, and a strawweight fight. Not bad. Oh yeah, Roxy. You know she left. I was gonna read that article. I got an article. I'm gonna do a live on that article because she wrote this long article about I guess the damage he suffered. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and talk about that. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I think I got it saved somewhere. I want to go back and talk about that one though, because you know she wrote a long article about head trauma. Yeah, it's called "How Head Trauma Prompted Roxy to Hang Up Her Gloves." Jerome said, "Man, does Dumont got some curves on her?" Yeah, she's a featherweight, or she could be a lightweight. Yeah, I mean, everybody was talking about. I think it was did Jamal Hill say something on his Twitter about it? I think Jamal Hill said something. I know Laura Sanko said something. I think Laura Sanko said something like she had a dump truck. And I think what is his name? Yeah, Jamal Hill said something about her having a wagon. I was like, wow, they are crazy. I said they crazy. Yeah, they crazy, man. Oh, Wild Tiger, what's going on with the 10 spot? Definitely gotta send Wild Tiger a shirt now. Well, yeah, I'm definitely gonna send her one anyway. She said, and then why is Nate Diaz talking about he trying to compete in boxing? Yeah, he need to sit down. He said if he don't sit down, he doing too much. Yeah, he gotta leave. Maybe he should just be a promotion. Just go into promotion, man. That's all. He go into boxing, he could get hurt, even if it is Jake Paul. Yeah. Yeah, Justin Gaethje, he slurred too. He sounds like it. So, Sink said, "Isn't that what happens when you host combat sports? So it's like inevitable. Inevitable. One does boxing. What does boxing do when it comes to that stuff? I'm ignorant to that when it comes to that topic. What do you mean, Sink? What does boxing do when it comes to what type of stuff? What do you mean? I might have missed that. What I was saying. I mean, what are you referring to? You mean whenever it's time to retire? It's even worse for them because boxers are pretty much free agents. I mean, they sign contracts to promoters, but they don't sign deals like NFL. Like NFL has a pension. Oh, brain injuries. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tie it to it. That's why NFL just does a pension to take care of their fighters. But you know, with them, there's nothing to take care of them like that. Decimated. What's up? He said, "Yeah, I didn't see any MMA with Nate. I feel like Tony wanted to give him the win. I think there was some, yeah, I think it was some, I don't think, I don't think he was going all out. Yeah, I don't think he was going all out for it because, even the choke, I mean, you saw Decimated how he was smiling. Even Tony Ferguson looked happy. He was smiling, picking everybody up, picked Joe Rogan up. He seemed happy for somebody that just got guillotined, right? So, it was Tony Ferguson versus Nate Diaz, but it's Nate Diaz's exit. So I didn't really see it as like him gonna go all out. So he said Ernest. Ernest said the UFC is Teflon against lawsuits. I'm curious on WMMA fighters and potential CTE injuries down the road. Yeah, I mean, Roxy's one of them. Potential. She's already suffered some damage. And Felicia Spencer retiring early, right? They'll probably settle outside of court. Excuse me. So yeah, but yeah, I think we covered everything tonight quick. Well, not yeah, shorter time here. Just wanted to go in and talk about some different things. But um, I am going to get ready to wrap this thing up unless we still got some questions and anything else. Anything else y'all got to talk about? Because after today, let's see, got a couple more good fights in the making this weekend. Yeah, this one should be better for WMMA this weekend coming up. Since the early picks for next week, let's see. I think with Jillian Robertson. I got Jillian Robertson. And I want to say Sarah McMahon, but that's tough. You know, Aspen looked like she been getting that work in, and I got oh man, I love Loma Labutni, but Denise Gomes is tough, man. And she used to be she's a flyweight sometimes, so I'm gonna go for Loma. I'm a Loma fan. I like Denise Gomes, but I was watching Loma first. I don't know about that one, man. Loma is undersized though, you know. It's early look Sarah McMahon, Jillian Robertson, Loma, maybe Marina Moreau versus Jennifer Maya. That's gonna be a good fight. Yeah, TJ. It is the new 30, right? So 37. So Sarah can be dangerous, man. She just don't show up all the time, man. Like she's powerful. Like she's so strong too, man. And she's been developing that right hand, man. So Sinks they can't trust Lad after her last performance. She's been training. She's been training this time around. I've been watching her. The thing is, I can't trust either one of them. I like Sarah McMahon, but I can't trust either one of them because I thought she was gonna give Pena. I thought if she would have got Pena too, gave her a better fight. Yeah, the Olympic wrestler because she is strong, man. I think Sarah McMahon's been more consistent though, right? To some degree, right? Tehran said, notice McGregor talking a lot of crap to Ferguson since he's been losing, but when he was on the street, Connor's silent as a church mouse. He wanted 0 dealers with Ferguson. What a coward McGregor is. Yeah, I ain't hear him say nothing before, man. Like, I think everybody wanted Khabib Ferguson, but I wouldn't mind seeing McGregor Ferguson. I would have wanted to see that fight, but McGregor didn't want that fight, huh? But now he won it when my man is already shot worn. Darby said, when's your next stream where you go in length about upcoming WMMA fights? Wednesday. Let's say 7:30ish. I think Thursday I ain't gonna have no time. Ain't gonna be off Thursday here. Wednesday we'll say 7:30ish. Right there, Darby. Yeah, Wednesday 7:30ish, and we'll talk all 4 of these fights. Wild Tiger said, I don't know how Pena McMahon 2 will end. Yeah, McMahon would probably want some get back from that fight, but Pena, I'd still probably give her the edge. Tehran said McGregor would want Ferguson at 170. I bet because he knows Ferguson's slow and then he won't be able to fight at 155. Yeah, anything to be at McGregor's advantage. You know, McGregor's looking all diesel at a couple months ago, looking like he was on something, all big, and he was slow looking himself, you know. But he don't, you know, he won it now just because it's a name and he can BS his way through that fight. Yeah. That's right. So you find it kind of strange how fast Tony was in that Chandler fight, but looked slow at 170. Yeah. Sometimes these fighters, they aged, man. Like, he was a little bit quicker, yeah, in the Chandler fight, but even in this one, like, just his body looks so lethargic now, man. You know, factor that and the fact that it was a short notice too, you know. So this dude looked like he didn't even get a chance to stretch for the fight. Wild Tiger said, I don't want another Misha Tate. I don't want Misha Tate in another flyweight fight. No, I don't think she ever coming back to 125. MMA Art, what's up? He said Nunes will probably move up to face Norman now. Aldana might face Pena. Yeah, that's a good fight. I was saying that earlier. Yeah, Aldana Pena's a good fight. They might make that the title eliminator. They're gonna make Pena earn that rubber match now. Mojo said Moreau versus Maya could be interesting. Yeah, I think it is. Like, even though they are far off in rankings, that's an interesting fight, man. Yeah, that's an interesting fight. Oh yeah, Mojo. I remember you brought up the other day too. Yeah, man. Macy did call out Andrea Lee. That's why I did that matchmaking on it, because you know she did call out Andrea Lee. She wants that fight, and that's a good fight. To this fighter's age, don't tell BJ he still believes Cat can beat Nunes again, or has a chance against Chris Cyborg. That's what came to my mind. Now that's scary. All right, TJ. He said, I'm out, be easy, and remember the best of Agapova is yet to come. I believe the reason why Ferguson and Diaz didn't live up to the hype is because UFC waited to both guys out of their primes. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I'd say worse than Floyd Manny, because at least Floyd never taken that much damage. Manny is taking some damage, but he was still game, you know. I mean, Floyd and Manny in 2009 would have been perfect, but yeah, 6 years later, there was a difference. I know what you mean, though. Like, it was more of a safety fight. This one here, there was more blood of connection, but it was sloppy. It was sloppy and lazy. Diaz was connecting, but a lot of his punches didn't even look like they hurt. They were cutting, yeah, but they didn't even look like they had much pop on. Yeah, Wild Tiger, yeah. Nunes would get that back. If she ever fight Cat, it could be 145. I don't care. She would get Cat now. Robot said Agapov had them cardio issues because her nose. She got surgery. Hope it helps. Oh, she did. She got that issue fixed with her nose. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I want to see that girl come back and fight, man. I mean, it needs some blood in the division to liven it up, and she likes to put on a show, so why not, right? Yeah, Diaz Ferguson, yeah, 16, 17 round them time, when they were like Diaz after he beat Connor the first time, I would have taken it then. He said Lee would have knocked out that version of Ferguson from last night. Yeah, Lee was looking good. I thought Lee. Who do you think won last night? Lee or Daniel Rodriguez? I thought Lee won, Tehran. Lee got robbed. Wasn't a close fight. He got robbed. Yeah, I thought Lee did enough to win. All right, let's see here. Yeah, overall though, man, it was just a average card. It was okay, nothing great. Those fight night cards of the last few months were better. Yeah, better in my opinion. All right, so let's get ready to wrap this thing up here, y'all. So, like I said, yeah, I'll be back on Wednesday about 7:30 ish. Talk some fights coming up. They had Lee winning third but losing second. Nah. Obviously, I saw Ferguson Cerrone at 238 in Chicago. Can't believe it was Tony's last win. Yeah, man. That was his last freaking win. 3 years ago, right? That's it. And so many people wanted Tony and Khabib now, or like a year ago. Yeah, I thought Lee got robbed, man. He did. Okay, y'all. Well, time to go now. Pushing 9:30 here. Appreciate everybody coming through. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Good conversation as always. Uh, Hit that like on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't. And you know what, Teron? I'm thinking of going back and doing a breakdown of, or I gotta go back and talk about that Gon Tuivasa fight, man. That was just on the body work alone that Gon put in. That body work Gon was putting in on Tuivasa, it was just like you gotta appreciate that type of stuff sometimes, man. Is it safe to say Justin destroys Ferguson, destroyed his career? He changed him. He ain't the same. Them type of fights, you could see something leave him that night. And I don't see the same guy. So yeah, you could say that fight right there, that war 5 rounds, man. Yeah, that guy ain't the same. You ever seen that Felix Trinidad and Fernando Vargas fight? Fernando Vargas was never the same, man. Dang, last 5 fights, he's at 0-5 now. Mm, that's crazy. Yeah, Derek Lewis, that last fight. Yeah, Holloway's kind of already there to me. I think he needs to retire. Holloway, he's won. Gaethje, to me, Justin Gaethje, he's kind of in that category too, man. Because like he's seen better days, and the amount of punishment he's been taking, I think Justin Gaethje, he can still get some wins here and there because he's still got power. I think his punch resistance is a little high, but just a little bit higher. But he's still showing signs too, like some of the stuff he's been in, even the Michael Chandler fight, even though he won that. Justin Gaethje, he getting wins, but eventually you'll see the downside, and that's the deception of it. You know what I mean? Like the deception is just because these are wins. Just because he's winning, you think, oh, he's not damaged, but no. The more and more wars he get, it's going to hit him hard when he fights just somebody that's going to have the same durability, but they're younger and stronger than him. You know, because he had that Ferguson fight, he won it, but look, Chandler fight, he won, but shoot, look at it. So Zama said Holloway only lost to the number one, but still, look at listen to him though, man. Like, listen to how he sounds now, man. Like, does he sound like somebody that should be fighting though? Did he even look like somebody that should be fighting? Like, I know that was Volkanovski, but still, like, he was that fight didn't even need to happen to me. Just because he was in there a third time with Volkanovski, doesn't mean he needed to be there. Because to me, I didn't really want to see that fight. He said Fizia beats Gaethje. Dang, yeah, it's possible. Woodley's another one. Teron, yeah, Teron Woodley's one as well, man. Him, McGregor. I think they had some most noteworthy ones that when you look, you'd be like, wow. Like Teron, he fell hard, man. He just looked flat after those last beat downs he got. Usman fight took something out of him mentally, you know. But yeah, man, I am out, y'all. Once again, appreciate y'all coming through. Everybody in super chat in the chat. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. See y'all Wednesday, 7:30ish. Combo Breaker 99. I am out. Subscribe. Peace.